How's it going, everybody? Guillotine here, bringing you guys a very quick little improvised video. I had this idea, and I decided to record this video real quick. I absolutely love the Jojo Super Action statue figure line. This is my collection so far. I absolutely love every single one of these figures. Honestly, I don't dislike a single one of them. I think they are all awesome. I think they all have great things. I love Jojo in general. Jojo is my second favorite anime of all time, so I am really, I really love this collection. I can't wait for it to grow even more. So I had this idea to rank every single one of my Super Action statues from my least favorite to my favorite and do that. I just thought it would be a fun little video. And yes, I am completely ad-libbing this video, completely improvising. I didn't even plan on this video whatsoever. I just came up with this idea suddenly on my day off, and I'm deciding to record it and see how it comes out. So I'm really excited about this. I do one day want to make top 10 Super Action statues videos, top 10 favorite, top 10 least favorite, top 10 best, top 10 worst. But at the moment, I don't feel like I have enough, and my collection is big enough in order to do that, but I do hope to eventually make videos like that. So if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned on the channel. And I will say that I have like 3 or 4 Super Action statues in my pile of loot right now on BBTS that literally have to be shipped out within like the next month. So yeah, my collection is not gonna be long for my collection to start getting bigger. And I've got tons pre-ordered from the re-releases. I love the line so much. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring my camera down a little bit more and we're gonna jump into this, and we're gonna start off with what I think is not my least favorite, but what I think is the weakest one overall, and that is gonna have to be Jotaro. Now, honestly, I really like this figure. I honestly do, because I love Jotaro, and I really loved this thing when I first got it, but over the course of having it, I have realized that this thing has a ton of problems. For one, it's actually very much a statue. The posability on this thing is actually pretty horrible, and I never reviewed this one. I did record a review, but I never ended up uploading it. But yeah, he's very much a statue, because his articulation is just not very good. There's a weird thing with his legs that make it so his legs, like, they're so hard to articulate. Like, you might as well just leave them in this stock position. And it's not a big deal because it's Jotaro, and you're only gonna have Jotaro doing like 3 or 4 different poses, you know, the 3 or 4 Jotaro poses. But, and I do really like this figure. I really like that they gave him the chain right here. I really like how they did the hat. Honestly, this is only the last one because I think it is the worst of the ones I've collected so far. I actually really do like this figure quite a bit. As I said, I don't dislike any of these figures, but this one has definitely got the most problems. It barely even poses at all. The accessories, I think, are pretty good. I do like the good grief, the yada yada dizay that he comes with. I do like how they sculpted his jacket, but I do wish that it just sat normally like the big one does. I do hope to get that eventually one day as well. Overall, I just think they could have done Jotaro Part 3 a little bit better. They have done Parts 4 and 6 versions of Jotaro as well, which I do hope to collect those eventually someday. But this is a Jotaro I picked up first because Part 3 is my favorite part. So I personally really do like this thing just because I love Jotaro. But as a figure, looking at it with my figure reviewer glasses on, it's not the best figure in the world. But I do like it, and I still think it's worth picking up and having in your collection. Coming in at the, well, I don't really know how many I have, but next up, the one that I think is the second least best, in my opinion, that's a weird sentence, is gonna be my boy Caesar, which really breaks my heart, because Caesar is my favorite Jobro, but this figure just has a lot of problems for me. First off, his torso is just really loose. Like, this is like the only Super Action statue that I can like wiggle with my hand and you can see him like flopping. Like, you can see the torso is like wobbly. And I don't know, maybe it's just mine, maybe they're tighter on others, but I don't know. And just overall, his joints are just a little bit looser than like every single other one of my Super Action statues. With this line, I'm very used to them being really robust feeling like quality action figures, not having any loose joints or overly tight joints. But Caesar here, he's just got a lot of problems in my opinion. And again, it totally breaks my heart because I love Caesar so much, and he's already been through enough, my poor boy, but I don't know, this figure just kind of did disappoint me a little bit. Again, it's not horrible, I don't hate any of these. The accessories are okay, I like the bubble effect that he comes with, and the fact that you do get a few of the bubbles that you can put on the stand next to him as well is really cool. But, I mean, just 2, it would have been really nice if they give you like 3 of each of these, because you get the light one, and then you get the regular bubble cutter. It would have been really awesome if you got 3 of each of those. I mean, I know then you'd have to have like all those arms, and that would look ridiculous, but still, I mean, I just feel like, what does he ever use just 2 bubbles? Like, it's just not enough, but it's not a bad figure, and I actually did get this one on sale for a pretty good price. I think I got him for about 65 bucks, so not too horrible. I'm not mad that I got him, and I love Caesar, so it's okay. But this one is just one that did kind of let me down. Like, usually with these things, they like stay on my nightstand for like a few nights before they go up on the shelf, just because I can't stop playing with them. I love them so much. But Caesar, he actually was only on my nightstand for like, I don't know, a day and a half. So yeah, I don't know, just not my favorite, but still a decent figure. Alright, next up is going to have to be one that I'm going to be kind of eating my words a little bit on. Koichi. I know I gave Koichi a very, very, very positive review, but Koichi is the one Super Action statue that I wish I could go back and re-review, because honestly, I don't think this figure's that great. I think I just had, I think I was just a little bit too high on the fact that they did a really great job with Echo. I will stand by that. The Echo figure is awesome. I honestly think it might be the best thing about the whole figure. He's really, really cool. The Koichi figure, though, upon coming away from that review, the Koichi figure's got a lot of problems. Like, his arms don't really bend very well. He gets less than 90 degrees at the arms right there. And if that was like on any other figure, I totally would have taken off a lot of points for that. So yeah, I really, really, really gave this thing a way too positive of a review. That's probably the only Super Action statue review that I'm like, I don't really like that one. I'm very happy with my Super Action statue reviews. I think they're some of my best reviews. But this is probably the one that I'm like, I would like to remake that review someday, because it's just not indicative of this product. I do really like this product, and I love Koichi. Koichi is one of my favorite characters of the series. And I needed him to go with Josuke and Okuyasu when I get him in a few months, because I have him pre-ordered on PBTS with the re-release. I'm very excited about that, to have the whole Morio gang. But this is just not a very good action figure. The posability is extremely limited. I do think the value is pretty decent, because you get all these effect pieces, you get Echo, and it is a really cool piece. Like, all of this that you see here is included with the one purchase, which is really, really awesome. I do like this figure again. I like all these, but this is definitely towards the bottom of the list, so. Alrighty, who is gonna be next? I think it's gonna have to be Rohan here. This is the first Rohan that they made. They've made 3 Rohans, and they have the third one that they made is being re-released right now. I've got it pre-ordered through BBTS. I think it looks awesome. I can't wait to get it. And it'll probably be replacing this one, because this one's got a lot of problems. This is the first Super Action statue I ever got, and as such, I loved it, and I still love it. I still love it, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's pretty high up on the list for being a figure of his quality, but he's got a lot of problems. For one, there's absolutely no posability in the waist, which is something I don't even think I pointed out in the review. There's no ball joint at the waist or anything. I don't even think there's a ball joint at the torso right here, and if there is, it's completely stuck, or it just doesn't move very much. Also, the shoulder pad over here, super duper loose, just likes to twirl around and stuff. He looks really cool, I will say that. I do really like the way he looks, but I just feel like once I get the one that I have pre-ordered, the third version of him with the outfit that he has on in the Dice episode from part 4, I feel like once I get that, this is probably just gonna go in storage. I'm not gonna sell it, because it did come with Heaven's Door, which I do need, because that actually doesn't come with the new one, so that's awesome. So I'm not mad that I bought this, because I have Heaven's Door, and that's a necessary thing to have with Rohan. Well, I guess not technically, but I really like having Heaven's Door, so I'm not going to sell him or anything, and I do still think it's a really nice figure, and it was my first one, so obviously no way I'm ever going to sell him, but I'm very excited to get that new one. I think it is going to replace this one on the shelf. He's just, I don't know, he's just not the best action figure in the world, but I do still like him quite a bit. Yeah, I still think I stand by my review for the most part. I still think he's a pretty solid action figure. Alrighty, who is next? I feel like, oh, no. This is the problem with not using the stands on these things, they fall over. I feel like the fair answer for the next one, even though I do think this is a pretty great figure, is gonna have to be Dio. I think Dio is gonna have to be the next one. Really good figure, honestly. I think this is a great figure. This is a really good one to have this high, this low down on the list, honestly, because I think this is a great action figure. Like, compared to some of my, SH Figuarts and my Figmas, this is a great, great figure. He's got tons of posability, really, really awesome accessories, lots of stuff you can do with him, and he just looks awesome. It's a really nice depiction of Part 3 Dio. Very, very cool. And yeah, I do really like this figure, but And honestly, when it comes to flaws, I can't come up with too many. It's just not one I tend to pick up all that often. I'm not really sure why. There's just something about this figure that makes me... I don't love this one as much as the rest of the ones that we have left to rank. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to go back on this, actually. I'm going to say Hermes is next, actually, and Dio will be after her. I think Hermes is next, because I really don't like how they fucked with her colors on this. I recorded a review of her. I didn't end up uploading it. But she looks like a pumpkin. I don't really like these colors. These are not accurate to any version of Hermes I've ever seen. This is a really cool figure. I do really like this figure. And I got this one on sale for 50 bucks, I think, which is an amazing deal for a super action statue. And again, I do like her, and I love Hermes, but I don't know. I hope that they make another Hermes with the more accurate colors, because I just don't like the look of this. I would have much preferred the anime accurate colors with the green vest. I think her pants were orange in the anime, and I also don't like that they made her just straight up white. Like, she's supposed to be like a Latina, I think, I think she's supposed to be like a Latina. She's supposed to have darker skin, but they made her just straight white, so I don't really like that. I wish she was more accurate to the character, and I do hope they'll give it another try with Hermes someday, because she's a great character, and I want to have her in, I want to have a better representation of her. But I do like this figure, and it will do the job just fine until we get that. I do really like this figure. Alrighty, now, let's go back to Dio here, to Dio-sama. Very, very awesome figure, like I said. This is a pretty great figure to have this low down on the list. It's just because the rest of the ones we have to rank are also really, really great, but the only thing I think I can really dog points on this figure is that he just is a little bit more rougher than these. Like, if you pick this figure up and then you go over here and you pick up like Gappy or Giorno, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, one of these is a much more quality action figure. That's just how it is. I can't really articulate it on camera here, but if you have this figure in your collection, I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. Like, the plastic feels a little bit more rough than what you're used to these days with action figures from like SH Figuarts or Figma or anything like that. It's just, this feels like an old action figure. It's not a bad action figure, it's just an old action figure. And I like it a lot. There is this, he does have this big old gap right here in his legs, which you can't even see that well. There you go. You can see the big old gap right there. This isn't a big deal to me as someone who's collected action figures their whole life. Gaps in joints don't bug me like at all. I barely even see them, but that's a little bit more noticeable to me than like most other cases. But overall, I do think this figure is great. I do like it. I do recommend it fully. I do stand by my review of this figure. But I do have to put it at this point on the list just because of what we have left. And with that being said, the next one up is definitely going to be Josuke, 100%. Josuke is not bad at all, but he's just kind of basic. And my real problem with this figure is that he's not purple. I just want him to be purple. I don't like this blue color that he is. I really hope we get another Josuke in the future with the purple, with the accurate purple outfit. I just think that would look so much better. I don't know, man. The blue just doesn't work for me. Like, I have no real issues with this figure. I do like this figure, but it's just kind of basic. It's one that I just kind of, I don't know. It's like, I look at it, I'm like, I like this figure, but I don't love this figure. I like this thing, I like to pose it, I like to change its accessories. I just don't feel anything great about this figure. I don't feel like this is like such a peak. I don't feel like this is a peak for Super Action Statue. I just feel like this is like a midpoint for Super Action Statue. Like, not that this figure is mid, because I don't think any of these figures is mid. This figure is just not, it's just not the best thing ever. It's not the most extravagant thing ever. It's not the most exciting thing ever. It's just kind of, yeah, it's just kind of Josuke. And again, I really think that would be fixed if he was just purple. And also, I think the shoes were, what color were the shoes? They weren't green. I know that for sure. But I just think if he had the accurate anime colors, I think I would like this figure way more than I do. So he's going to have to land at this spot on the list. Alright, who the hell is next? Because the rest of these are all bangers. But I think I've got to give the next spot to Mr. Bruno Bucciarati here. This is a great figure. Do not get me wrong. At this point, we have reached the great figure. So all the ones that we have left to rank, these are awesome figures that every single one of you should have in your Super Action Statue collection. And Bruno here is wonderful. The only problems that this figure has is that you can't cross his legs at all. His legs are sculpted in a way that makes it so this is the closest that they can come together, which is not a huge deal, but I personally really like to have more expressibility in the legs, especially with stuff like if you look at my Josuke here, how he's got his legs crossed like there. Like, I just think with Jojo is like so about like the poses and whatnot that I feel like it's much better to be able to have more expressive poses with Jojo figures. So that's why Bruno's gonna have to go down this low. But in terms of the design of the figure, it looks dead on perfect. I absolutely love it. The only thing is the blue hair instead of having the black hair. But again, as I said in my review, you can get the black hair if you get the other variant of him, and you can head swap them, which again, I do plan on doing eventually once I get all the Super Action statues that I really, really want. But it is a really great figure. I love all the gold zippers. The accessories that this one comes with is great. I love the little opening zipper. I love the Mario Zucchero head that you get. Yeah, it's a great figure, really. This is a really, really great figure. I highly recommend it. He feels awesome. This is just not, it's not one that I ever take off the shelf just to play with. It's one that I just kind of like to fiddle around with a little bit, just like move him ever so slightly, and then just put him back on the shelf. He's not one that ever like goes on my nightstand and I just mess with for like hours and hours and hours. He's just kind of pick him up, look at him, maybe move a few things around, maybe change a few accessories, and then put him back on the shelf right next to his bro. So awesome figure, but not Hey, DK from the future, snapping in this quick little video, this quick little thing in the video here, because I totally forgot about my boy Kira. Yeah, my favorite character. I totally forgot to rank his figure. Yes, I am putting him right here after Bruno Bucciarati. I think he's really, really great. I will say the only issue I really have with him is that his legs are not the best thing in the world. You can't really get them any closer together than this. They don't want to go together any more than that. This is one of the older figures. I believe the Part 4 figures were made after the Part 3. So the Part 3 are the first ones they made, and then the Part 4 ones were after that. So these are older ones, but I still think this is a pretty awesome and quality action figure. I stand by my review completely of this figure. This is actually, the review for this figure is one of my favorite reviews I have ever made. So if you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. I genuinely love the video I made on this. I'm so proud of it. And this is an awesome figure. The head sculpt is absolutely perfect. All the accessories are great. Yeah, I love this thing. I have Killer Queen in my BBTS pile of loot right now, so I can't wait to complete him in just a few months here. And he comes with Sheer Heart Attack, of course, as well. Awesome, awesome figure. I even want to go get the white version of this as well and have both versions of it on my shelf. So awesome figure. Putting him in right here just after Bruno. I think it's gonna have to be Diavolo. I think I like Diavolo a little bit more than the next one that's going to be up here, but I think he is slightly worse, just slightly, because just like with Dio, his plastic does feel a little bit more rough than what you would expect with an action figure these days, and that's probably because Medicos is a smaller company, so they probably can't use as quality plastic as other companies, and, you know, be able to make the figure a reasonable price, which I'm okay with. I love these figures. I love Medicos for what they do, for giving us these figures, so I'm not too mad about it. And I do think this is a great figure. I love this figure in terms of the posability. I think this is actually one of the best Super Action statues. It's got a ton of posability in the arms, even having a little bit of butterfly, which I think this is the only Super Action statue that I have collected so far that does have butterfly. It's got an awesome ball joint right here in the head. Really, really great posability in the legs. Totally able to cross the legs 100%. I love it. The accessories are pretty good. The sweater could have been thought through a little bit better because it's a huge pain in the ass to get it on there, but it's still a cool accessory. I give props for including it and having some representation of the Doppio switching version aspect of the character. It's just overall, it's a great Diavolo figure, but I think maybe, and I do think the head also could have been a little bit better. It just doesn't 100% capture the vibe of Diavolo, but it's still a really cool figure. I do really like it. If you're a Diavolo fan, you absolutely should have this in your collection. I do hope to get King Crimson to go with him someday. Very, very cool. I do think they did a great job on him, but I do think that the next one I have left to rank is maybe just a little bit better. But again, I don't like it as much as this. I definitely like this figure more than the next one, which is definitely going to be Poochie, Father Poochie here. This is a really great figure, honestly, in terms of just an action figure. I actually think this is one of the best of the entire line because he has tons of really robust things about him, like having this little skirt piece that's fully articulated and having a full set of articulated legs under there. Like, that is just absolutely awesome to me. And then the accessories are great. I love the hat, even though it's a little bit too big. I still really, really love it. All the hands he comes with are great. He doesn't even come with that many accessories. He just comes with really good accessories. accessories. Really fun accessories to mess around with him, to accessorize him again. The hat, it's just so fun. He's a really great figure, and I'm sure, yeah, he's really, really great. If you want to know more, you can check out my review. I do stand by my review of this figure, but Poochie is not my favorite villain. He's actually probably towards the bottom of my list for villains. We're talking about Jojo here, some of the best villains in all of anime, so keep that in mind. I do like Poochie, don't get me wrong. I like every character in Jojo. But not one of my favorite characters, so that's why he's a little bit lower down. I don't love this figure as much, but I do still think it's a really top tier figure, and if you don't have it, definitely pick it up. And I would recommend picking it up from BBTS because you can get it for a really good price on BBTS, so boom. Okay, who is left? I think we have only got the best of the best left. So the next one for me, ooh, this is tough. All right, we're going to go with this. All right, it's going to be... It's gonna be Mr. Has a Dream, Mr. Giorno Giovanna. They absolutely knocked it out of the park with Giorno. He is fucking fantastic. I remember when I first got him out of the packaging, I was just blown away by this thing. This is the first super action statue I bought that actually, like, really blew me away. I was like, that is a quality action figure. You've got amazing posability in here. You've got amazing posability in here. Sculpting is absolutely phenomenal. You've got all of the aspects of the character. Checkerboard butt. You got the little ladybug brooches on him. He looks absolutely perfect. Yeah, this is a absolutely fucking fantastic figure. So damn great. Absolutely an S tier. 100% stand by my review of this figure. This is actually one of my favorite super action statue reviews. I really, really like this one. I think I did a really good job on this one. And yeah, he's just great. I love him. I think he's absolutely near perfect. I love him. Coming in at the number 2 spot is my favorite Jojo, Jolene. They did such an amazing job on this figure, man. She is absolutely phenomenal. Her accessories are so great. Her posability is incredible. She's going to do everything you can think of. Crosses the legs to the neck to like the highest degree possible. Beautiful double jointed elbows. Amazing posability in the head. This is just a freaking top tier super action statue. This is a must have in every single category. She looks awesome. She poses awesome. Awesome character. Yeah, they just crushed it with this. The stone-free accessories are so awesome as well. I love this hand with the threads kind of unraveling a little bit. I love the hand. That's the little handgun right there. You can do so much with that hand. So freaking cool. Yeah, this is just such a top-tier super action statue. I just absolutely love her. The only reason she's not number 1 is this because I think that Gappy is just a little bit better. Number 1 is absolutely going to have to be Gappy Higashikita from JoJolion. This thing is just top tier. This is the absolute best super action statue I have collected so far. This is just such a quality action figure overall. He's got all the posability you need. You've got just an amazing design. I think he just looks cool. I actually showed this figure to my mom, who is slowly becoming a big JoJo fan. She's slowly making her way through the series. And when I showed it to her, this was her reaction. Oh, he's cool. I like him. I love this figure, man. He looks awesome. I absolutely love how they've sculpted this guy. I just think he looks so perfect when you look at him. So well done. All the blue is just so perfectly painted on there. The accessories are so great. The articulation is phenomenal. And he just feels quality. Like, the quality of this thing just feels awesome. All of them feel quality, but this guy feels like a higher quality, even higher quality than, like, everybody else, man. My God, look at my poor JoJo shelf. It's going to take some time to put that back together and make it look nice again, but absolutely love this figure. The only issue that I honestly could even give this figure is that I've had his elbow pad pop off a lot, which is such a minor little thing. I still have it. It's not lost or anything, and I mean, it doesn't even matter because unless you look at it from the back and you're like looking at it, you're not even going to notice it regardless. It just keeps popping off. And honestly, I think it's just because I have him with his elbow fully bent. I think if you just don't, I think if I had his arm like not so much in like if I wasn't like stressing the posability like all the way to the thing, it probably wouldn't have even been an issue. It's just this pose I have him in right now that has the elbow, that makes it hard for the elbow to stay on. So I love this figure. I think it's absolutely perfect. And if you haven't picked this up, regardless of whether you've read JoJolion or not, like I haven't read JoJolion yet, you need this guy in your collection, 100%. This is, in my opinion, the best super action statue that I have personally experienced so far. And with that being said, everybody, that is every single one of my JoJo super action statues ranked from worst to best. Let me know all your thoughts on these in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite JoJo super action statues is. And if you like JoJo and you like super action statues, go down there, give me a like, and subscribe for more content in the future. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and this is DK Guillotine, signing out.